Steffi, founder of SheCan.world. We're going live with Anna Richards, the founder of Frolicme, an ethical pleasure website. So let me try and add her here. This is always the tricky bit. Her to join now. Anna! Hi!
We made it. We've
Yes.
connected.
Well,
Stephanie, hello.
That was seamless.
We had it sorted. It's all good and so lovely. It just takes a couple of moments, you know, where you see it connecting and you just go, you just have to be patient. But it's lovely to be here. Lovely to be chatting.
It's great to have you, Anna. You're our Monday muse on SheCan.world. You're the founder of Frolicme. Let's dive straight in. We have a brilliant interview that's been watched many times on our website and YouTube channel. So tell us a bit more about Frolicme and why you set it up.
Well, Frolicme was something that I felt both personally about, as well as see it as a, if you like, it was also a business opportunity as well. But it was something I felt very strongly about, that really when it came to erotica, and I'm referring to sex positive erotica, women just weren't catered for. It was so focused really on the male vision. It was very male centric and still is predominantly today.
Yeah.
But somehow there was nothing that focused on female pleasure. There was nothing that focused on the real joys of sexuality that was positive, that was ethical, and that's really important and something I feel very, very strongly about. So I set about with Frolicme, where I actually offer our own produced films. So we have over 400 now. We also have erotic stories, we have audio porn, we have galleries, we have a magazine. We have just lots of fabulous erotica and sex for men, women and couples to engage in.
Anna, and I absolutely love it. And we need to have all those conversations, even if sometimes they're a little bit uncomfortable still in this day and age, and talk about all the things that are really part of women's health. And sex is part of women's health and women's well-being. And you've done a fabulous job. Tell us a bit more about the challenges. There must have been many challenges and still are many challenges. Tell us a little bit about those and how you ever overcome those.
Yeah, well, I mean, straight away, you said it, even talking, some people find it a little bit difficult, a little bit awkward maybe. And I think that is the issue that I realized, and one of the real strong reasons why we need to have sites like Frolicme, because we actually do need to normalize sex. We actually need to normalize the fact that there's two women here talking about some sexual related content. We should be able to do that, but we still have problems and issues. It's the language we use or we don't use correctly. And I think that is something that I really want to do, is to help women feel really quite empowered to explore their sexuality, explore what it is they enjoy, actually seek pleasure for themselves, and be able to have these open conversations that really should be very normal. So definitely that was the first off. You know, how do I get over this hurdle of it's about sex, which, to be honest, we all love, but I need to be able to talk about it and I need to be able to show it and so on. And with that, of course, there's a lot of censorship. So again, it's a big issue of how do we get over these hurdles and not be censored by you know, the big mainstream corporations that manage so much of our day-to-day life, whether it be banking, whether it be social media and so on. So that's been really my main sort of challenges, but it is doable.
And you show that all the time, Anna. So you're really an innovator. You're a visionary. You've started something that is really new, hasn't been done much, still isn't being done much. Give us a little bit your long-term vision, Anna. What change would you like to affect? And we've been talking about it already.
I think just to actually have, first off, I think it's been important that I'm, obviously I'm a woman. Here I am sat here, but it's a woman that's got involved in this space. And I think it's so important. And I love the fact that there are more and more women actually getting involved in sexual wellness. And obviously I'm in the world of erotica, and I focus on the positive, the health positives of good, healthy sex. But there's a lot of women that are actually getting involved in apps, in products, in sexually related support platforms, which I think is wonderful. And I feel we're on a movement now of more women actually helping ourselves and helping each other. So I think that's something I would love to see. Is we can't get over this understanding or non-understanding of female pleasure unless we have more women involved, where we actually can talk with an honesty and an understanding of what good sex is and how important our female pleasure is.
Yeah, Anna, and get rid of the shame around those conversations, and that we can have young girls talking about it openly, not being subjected to the sort of ways of often young boys referring to girls, the problem we have with porn with boys and teenagers, and just to create an even playing field, right, where you have information from different directions, and that's where really come into play with Frolicme, I think, in the big picture of a landscape that's often not looking at all from a woman's point of view. And as we have many teenage girls still grappling with those things, every day, and all of us growing up in still a way where we are maybe not supposed to talk about it, and it's not encouraged for girls or women to explore and experience and make it part of sort of our general well.
Yeah, it is. And I think the problem is too much is filtered through into our culture, that for us to actually manifest this change, we need to have so much more of the positive sex out there to actually give a balance. And this is really so important, that we can't affect this change in our culture unless we kind of open the doors to actually understanding and talking with people like myself and many, many other individuals that are involved in promoting better sex, talking about better sex, educating, and so on. Then we can slowly change how, certainly when it comes to young people, because often their early vision is not necessarily a positive one. They're learning too much from a lot of the internet that can and does host a lot of negative pornography out there. So I think this is the difficulty. We're not educating and talking about sex as pleasure enough. And I think if we could just start saying, when you talk about sex, let's talk about pleasure. What is it you like? How do you like to be touched? How do you like to explore sex? And when you start to have those conversations, it changes the dynamic of sex. It really does. And it becomes something more about what is it you would like to enjoy? Because we have to remember, sex, and this is something we don't necessarily stress enough, but when you have sex, you're really having sex for yourself, firstly. And when you get it balanced like that, you should find that those relationships are positive ones and not ones where there's regret and a lot of the shame and stigma that then comes with the wrong type of sexual relations.
Yeah, you've already given some brilliant tips, Anna, and we've been speaking in our interview. You've given amazing tips. Would you like to just give us or our listeners a couple of tips now, how we can achieve that sort of wellness, that exploration of ourselves, knowing ourselves so well that we know it, that we know what we like?
Yeah, well, I think first off is sometimes we don't always know for sure what we like. I think if you actually ask, and I think this is possibly where women are not, don't find it so easy to talk about sex sometimes, but if you actually ask someone, what is it you like? And I think more often than not, they would just look a little bit startled, as I don't know what I like, you know, do what you do sort of situation. But actually, you need to first of all enjoy some sort of solo sex, and if you like, some self pleasure, because what we all need to do is actually understand our bodies first and foremost. And the easiest, simplest, most comfortable way of actually doing that is actually to embrace the positive benefits of masturbation. And by doing that, you actually learn what it is that your body enjoys and how it responds. And you'll quickly go, oh, you know, you'll naturally move to areas and parts and techniques and so on that give you that positive arousal and stimulation, and not the other. Then, of course, you actually start to understand, how do you explain that to somebody? So when somebody says, oh, what is it you like? Straight away, you can go, oh, I don't like this, but I love this. And that helps immediately, because, you know, most in heterosexual or other relationships, most of the time people are trying to guess what you might like, as opposed to very simply be told. And actually, that's an incredibly confident thing. So as a woman as well, you'll gain that confidence by actually understanding your own body to have that communication. It's not only gives you confidence, it's actually, you know, you become incredibly sexy with that sexual confidence. And it's actually not difficult. It's often very, very simple things that you want to talk about. So that, I would say, is my absolute positive takeaway here, is go and spend some time, find your own space, your own little moment, and actually discover what it is you enjoy. And I would also say, open the world to the sex toys that are out there. There's some fantastic sex toys that really do take your sex to a different level. You know, sex toys do things to your body that you alone can't do. So when you think of it like that, you're just adding to the fun. You're not sort of saying, oh, but surely I should be able to do that. Yes, but also the sex toys can take the pleasure to another different level as well.
Yeah. Anna, I'm very grateful for this conversation. I would love to encourage everyone to check out Frolicme, where you have ethically produced adult entertainment stories, audio to enhance and to experiment with. And I would love to invite more women on our She Can Instagram. Anna, you're the first one since we were hacked, so I'm so delighted.
Ollie.
Conversations with you know, all kinds of different women's coming from different walks of life from all over the world, and we tell women's stories. That's what we're here for, to create more women role models. And Anna, you're a very important role model. You are very courageous, and running a business that is still in this day and age something that we grapple with. And so we're so thankful for you showing us how it's done.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being the voice to actually channel the information out there. So I'm delighted that, you know, do come and visit Frolicme, and, you know, open your eyes to a whole new world of erotica, and how that really does help. I like to say it's your chemical-free libido kick. You know, quite honestly, it gets you in the mood, and it's something enjoyable, whether you prefer just to listen to the audios or maybe the stories, or if you want to jump straight in and watch our many, many films. and hopefully it will really open your eyes to other sexual adventures that you can enjoy, either alone or with your partners.
Thank you so much for joining me today, Anna.
Thank you very much for having me. Take care. Bye-bye.
Too.
Bye.